So you're refusing me the incident reports. You are. You're refusing to give me papers that are covered under the Freedom of Information Act, correct? Right this second, this has been going on for 2 years now.
All right, so how is it going, everybody? Whiskey's riding co-pilot in the front today. He's starting to like hanging out in the front. But so I'm not sure how that affects the sound quality. But we're not too far from the park we're heading to anyway. But so I'll get on here today and we're gonna share another local Defiance case, a little bit of it. Give a shout out to Richard and or Rick, and that's as much as the information I'll give of his. If he wants to give more of his information, he can do so in the comments, or if he wants to add any details to this. But what we have is he's done his due diligence, as we all should. When corruption came to his door, he confronted it and got these people on camera. And sometimes we can't always get it right on the time, right? And that's one of my, there's other people, other channels out there telling you, well, I need the video, and sometimes you ain't got the video, and I understand that. I'm not one of those that says I need the video, but I do need everything you can get from the case, right? All your own information, all your own files, everything that you can get for your case, I need ahead of time. And so Rick's case is not the first, certainly not the first one I started dealing with the other people that's reached out to me. His is actually, I think, the first one where, other than Rob Schaefer, since then, because of things that's been going on, I've whatever the situations are, what they are, but I'm still more than willing to bring everybody's cases to light. Some of the people I was talking to, you lose a little touch with them, and whatever, everyone wants to move on with their stuff. That it is what it is, and I apologize where my situation caused by them brings this into affects all this. But so we're gonna share his. He's got some video from his case, and we're gonna go ahead and share some video from what he had gotten for us, and maybe I'll pop in with a little bit of commentary. But we'll start with where we're gonna start with his case is. So these ain't in order of the videos, and he has other videos, and I have a few other people that's got some videos, but it is what it is right now. It's all in the workings, and so I appreciate once again everyone who does tune in. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you find this interesting, and thanks for all the support we get on this channel, and don't forget to check out our store with new designs for several products, shirts, cups, stuff like that. And so where we're going to start with Rick's case is he went down to the sheriff's office. It's probably his most recent video with them, and he was down in the sheriff's office and went to get, because he's been trying to get information pertaining to his case through the Freedom of Information Act. And we'll start out with that, and here we go.
Phone number, Richard?
Why is that?
We are gonna get it approved through the prosecutor's office first, just to make sure.
It's an incident report. Just for what?
But you're also asking for video.
Well, that's separate. I'll take the ones for the house today.
Okay, well,
Okay.
I can't give those today.
Listen to me.
Talk to the sheriff.
You're breaking the law by not giving them to me. Do you realize
I
that?
didn't say I wasn't gonna give them to you. I said I need to contact the
This has been going on for 2 years. Okay? Every time after I got the first one, you would go in the corner and call, and he would come down here. Okay?
He's my supervisor.
You can't make it more difficult from one person to the next. It's got to be even. You can't make it harder for the person here
Call the
or here.
prosecutor's office if you'd like and talk to Morris.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to end up suing you, and you're going to end up with a charge. Check into it. I'm not lying to you. You're not. By law, you have to make it available for each person the same. When he told me the one day to put it down on paper, that's illegal. That what you give out here on a daily basis, Freedom of Information Act, it has to be the same for each person that walks in. You can look it up. It's an Ohio law. I'm not lying to you.
Okay, well, I'm just
Okay?
relaying what the
And I'm going to end up, huh?
I'm just relaying what I talked to the sheriff about, and he said that you can either call the prosecutor's office or I can do it myself. I'm gonna speak with him and get it approved.
So you're refusing me the incident reports. You are. You're refusing to give me papers that are covered under the Freedom of Information Act, correct?
Right this second, yes.
Right this second? This has been going on for 2 years, pal.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I spoke with the sheriff. He said we're going to talk to the prosecutor and then we'll let you know
For the video.
for all of it.
Okay. When can I see the sheriff?
He's not here right now, so
Mhm.
I don't know.
What's your name? Badge number?
Brad Grillo. I've talked to you before.
What is it?
Lieutenant Brad Grillo.
Grillo?
Yes, sir.
And what's your name, hon?
My name is Chandra.
Chandra? Okay.
Can we get your phone number though? We'll call you after we talk to the prosecutor, please.
I'll stop down. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll be back. How long is this going to take?
Without talking to the prosecutor, it's hard to say. We'll call them and then we'll know more.
I'm like a day or two, weeks, months, years.
I can't give you an answer.
Really?
You're asking me to give you an answer for something I don't know. Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't make sense because it's just a phone call.
And we're going to do that.
So, it's days. I mean, that's fair, right?
I don't know till we call them.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, now be nice to Chandra. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it, right? She's just doing her job, what the corrupt sheriff tells her to do, So just keep it cool, right? Anyways, as far as we can tell, it's not her fault for the corruption. Like in my thing, and I'm not saying he's doing a good job in through his interactions with them of being mostly decent, right, and not disrespectful, and that's how we need. Now, my approach, the way I do, where on my videos, some people, you can say it how you want, but the ones I come at where it seems like maybe some disrespect, they've earned it and they deserve it. But around here, I do my best to keep it directed only at the ones who deserve it, and this way it shows a little bit of the reward towards the ones that are all out here watching, and they see that when you're doing your job right and you're not purposely violating people, you're doing the best you can to uphold that oath, protect our freedoms, then I'm going to do my best to show you respect, right? And I'm not trying to say these are some thoughts that come about. So, Chandra, we're probably going to keep, when I become sheriff, we'll keep her on board, I think, unless we find anything that shows otherwise. But, okay, so now let's just keep that in mind. And, but this is what the thing is, the point right here is, this is how bad it is around here to get your own information even, right? Like, they've refused to release most of the shit about my case to this day, right? Oh, we don't have so I asked for, in my case, here's fish hooks. So in my case, I asked for, all the recordings, all the video, body cam, dash cam, all that stuff, right? And the response I got back was, oh, well, we don't have body cams. So I was like, okay, well then give me any and all video and audio pertaining to my case, to this, and I put it all out there properly, did it through Freedom of Information Act, and suddenly, well, we don't have nothing for that case, right? You know, all this nonsense. Well, they don't have it because it's damning to them, and that's how it is around here. And that's why the Freedom of Information Act, you'll get nowhere with here, you know, around here. And, you know, but he's right on it, on this, and they, according to that Freedom of Information Act, they should be, first of all, you shouldn't need a Freedom of Information Act when it pertains to you to begin with. Like in my case, I should have never even had to go through Freedom of Information Act. Well, I tried to go through the lawyer, and he didn't do shit. Nobody gets my, you know, but because all the evidence shows against them, because they are corrupt around here. And that's all it is big time corruption. And, you know, let's continue on.
Yes, sir. What can I help you with?
I had the sheriff's department stop up on my property again. I don't want them on my property.
Okay.
Okay? If they need to arrest me, that's one thing, but
Okay.
anything else can be done by phone or by letter.
Okay.
Okay?
Help
I'm
me
not
out. What, they were on your property when?
today.
Okay.
Again, I asked Sergeant Shock a while back when he confiscated my phones
Okay.
not to bring them to my house, to
Okay.
send me a letter, and I would come down and pick them up.
Okay.
He comes and knocks on my door to hand me my phones back. There was some shit that happened at my house where they lied. They left some things out on a report. Okay, I've got it on video where the undersheriff's back walking on it. Okay, they treated me like a total piece of shit, and now they want my help. They're out of their freaking minds. Okay, they came today to ask me to come and testify in front of a grand jury. I was here yesterday,
Okay.
had it out with the undersheriff, and he could have told me yesterday that there was a grand jury meeting.
My understanding
do
was
it.
that we didn't know about it until a
Well,
prosecutor
I don't
called
care.
today.
I don't care. I'm a single parent with 2 kids and a business owner.
Okay.
And I can't do it on a knock, okay? He claimed that they entered my house without a warrant because of officer safety, okay?
Today?
No, this was the original thing that started this whole thing, okay? I had a
Okay.
cop, they banged on my door so hard, okay? And I'm not a jerk off, okay? They banged on my door so hard, when I turned my head, you could see sunlight coming through my door. That's how hard they banged on my door. Now,
Okay.
I get it that I'm in a mobile home and the doors aren't as thick and they're not
Sure.
used to it. So I didn't push that issue. I'm not a jerk off.
Okay.
Okay? But they yanked me out of my house, one by one wrist and one by the other wrist, onto my feet. They lied about that.
Okay, Richard, I'm gonna stop you right there, because it was me that came to the house. And I did not pull you out of the house.
Somebody did.
No, sir.
Somebody did.
You
Well-
stepped into the house. You stepped into the house to get your shoes, because I
Yes.
asked you to get your shoes. Okay. For officer safety, we make sure the door at least stays open, and you're worried about your dog. So that's why I stepped in there to allow the door to either shut or at least to be there.
The door was kicked back open.
I did not kick it back open.
Well,
Okay.
okay.
So we walked to my car. Okay. And we transported you to the PD like we were asked to do. Because I asked if you'd be willing to come to the police department, and you said yes.
I didn't have
So
a
that's what we
choice.
did.
I said if they needed my help, they were going about it the wrong way, is what I said. I didn't have a choice. You guys made it seem like I had to.
No, sir.
If I had a choice, I'd have driven my own car and not been stuck down there.
Okay.
Okay? You guys can say whatever you want. All I'm saying is, I'll go testify in front of a grand jury. I'll
Okay.
tell them how I was treated like a piece of shit. You guys lied on the reports, left things out. Okay? And if you guys are willing to leave things out, then I'm assuming that you guys are willing to add shit in. I'll go testify in front of a grand
I
jury.
did
I'll
not
put
leave
all that in
anything
there. Okay?
At no point did I leave anything out of my report.
Nobody put in their report that they entered my house.
I did. I said I stepped in for officer safety, and we walked in.
I have the original report.
Okay.
I have it.
That's not in there?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, I apologize
None of
that
it
I
was
didn't
in
put
there.
that in there.
None of it was in there.
But that is why I
It
stepped
said
in
that
the
I
house.
voluntarily went down there, this
didn't.
and that. I wasn't handcuffed, but I wasn't given a choice.
I said,
Okay?
are you willing to
Entering
come?
my house wasn't in there. Me being, you guys could say whatever you want, but me being yanked out of my house wasn't in there.
I didn't yank you
Okay?
out of the house, Richard.
Well-
You can say that all you want. I did not yank you out of your house.
It
I
is what
asked
it
you
is.
if you're
What it
willing
is.
to come down and help the
But
police
I have a
department,
feeling at this
and you
point,
said yes.
all I'm saying is I don't want anybody on my property anymore. You guys blew it.
If we
Okay?
have-
I told
if we have court
Shock.
papers that we have to serve,
I
we have
told
to bring
Shock.
them to you.
You can serve me by mail, or you
We
can
don't do
call
it by
me on
mail.
the phone. Well, I'm
We have
telling
to
you,
do it in
don't
person.
come on my property unless you're gonna arrest me for something.
Okay.
Okay?
I'll-
Or we're gonna
I'll
have an
pass it on,
issue.
but I
We're gonna
can't
have a big
guarantee that's
issue,
gonna be
and
in the-
I'm putting you on notice right now. Don't fuck with me. Please.
I'm not trying to.
Please. Okay? I told Shock.
Okay.
I told Shock when you guys came looking for help later on down the road, and you guys would, that it wasn't happening.
Okay.
Okay? I was really tired. I'm going to have a fuzzy fucking memory. All right? And it's a shame because if one of you guys were out on the street by yourselves needing help, you were in trouble, somebody on top of you, I'd have been the first fucking guy there to help you guys. But you blew it.
So basically here we have the officers being called out, corrupt sheriff's department being called out for their stuff, as it appears, maybe I'm wrong, was stuff that was being served by the local thing, but because they show up, now they're gonna, you know, break into your house and tackle you and everything else to get you to show up to court when they could just, or to the, to wherever, you know, when they could just tell you, right? But that's not how it goes. But you see they get called out on lies, as they always do. You know, like one thing I want to point out, he's like, oh, well, I put that in my report. And then he says, no, I got copies of the reports. I got copies of everything. And it's not in there. And he, oh, well, I apologize. I thought it was in there. And that's how they get away with their stuff. Well, I apologize. I thought it was in there. You know, if you put something false in the report to them, you could get charged with that shit. They, on the other hand, and it's totally legal according to the system, supposedly, they're allowed to lie through their fucking teeth. Knowingly. Willingly. Right? Whatever they gotta do to bust you. But, you know, that's just one thing. He's done a good job here, and that's one thing we gotta get up there, especially if it's after the fact. And we know we've been violated and they've acted shady and done things wrong. Then we need to get up there, such as Rick has done, and such as I have done on some of my stuff, right? And you make sure you get the right stuff brought to light on video and on recording. You get these things brought to light, get them to talk about where they violated you, and you know, because that's the biggest thing. My stuff, they're just trying to keep it shut up, and they'll totally ignore the stuff. And you can watch, when you watch the one video where I'm talking with the Mr. Ingo, Mrs. Ingo, whatever sheriff's name is, when, you know, you can watch him, you know, if anyone knows the video, or go check it out, you know, which sheriff admits he won't do his job is the title of it, right? But you can watch him swallow hard, you can watch him get all nervous when I'm like, this is your job, the oath to the Constitution, all this stuff, and they want to pretend it's all about the courts and stuff like that, right? What a mess. It's all, and the sheriff's department is nothing but liars. Sheriff's office, Defiance County Sheriff, and why is that? And that's because it's being led by the sheriff, you know, and that is Doug Ingo, and he's liar and he's corrupt and he sides with corruption, okay? And and it's more than just him, it's this whole system around here, and they will knowingly take false cases to bust people, and they just do this stuff to, you know, I take example from my case, when it all started out, they got me right at the time when Zonta was around here telling people, on the big push. And that's what happens once you get these organizations on a big push for something. It's no longer for the goodness that it's supposed to be for. Now they're all about bringing in that money and busting people to look good, right? So Zonta's on the push for, let's get this thing to protect women from violence, which I'm all for. Everyone should be all for, right? But instead, now they start taking all these stupid cases, twisting them around, where the sheriff's department alone is the one accusing you of domestic violence or some kind of violence, right? And so there's a big push, so they get on the big thing for Zonta. You know, the person the alleged victim in my case, right, should have known way better, because there was this big push going all throughout the county, right? So, you know, once they get you in their grips, then they will squeeze you to death, and they won't let you out of it because this looks good on them. Now they're hitting the quota to, hey, look, now we're getting recognized by Zonta as being so forceful on taking care of this problem, right? It's just a bunch of shit, right?
But to say officer safety at that point, I left the door open, so I'm obviously not a threat at that point, okay? I didn't close the door try and kick the door shut until the dog went after somebody.
I get it.
And then they're gonna come in a house with a dog that just tried to go for their throat, like, that doesn't.
Dogs
and then-
don't
and then-
bother me.
And then tonight, yeah, 'cause you guys can shoot him if you have to,
I'm
but
not
I
gonna
didn't want
shoot a
that to
dog.
happen.
No,
I don't
no.
know that, but it's happened.
I get
Okay?
it, correct. You
That's
are
what
correct.
I was trying to keep from
No, I
happening.
get it, I
all
get
right?
it.
But that's the only thing I was trying to do, and then they know I'm pissed off already, because I was here yesterday trying to get copies of shit that they won't give me, and they send Abby, what, she's 5 feet tall, all by herself, to my house to try and get me.
Well, that was just to tell you that they needed you in court.
Right, but that was, you guys were just telling me they needed me at the police department. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
They asked us to
officer safety, you
transport you, that's
think,
why.
you know, if I'm pissed off as I was yesterday, and, you know, there's an officer safety thing, and, you know, like, you guys were just there that day, there was 4 years and a parole officer posted around the corner of my house. Today, I was pissed off yesterday, why wouldn't I be pissed off today? They send one single 5-foot tall, sweet as could be, okay? I had no issues with her. I just don't want anybody on my property anymore. I'm not helping out. I'm done, we're past that thing.
And I understand your point.
If you need me, you've got my phone number, you can mail me something. I know you don't generally do that, but,
We can't, courts won't allow us to mail it.
well,
Because
I don't know what
we
you're gonna
have
do
to do
that.
it in
Then call me on the
person.
phone, because I don't want
Okay.
anybody knocking on my door unless you're gonna drag me out of my house and arrest me.
Well, I don't want to do
Okay?
that.
And I'm not trying to be a dick, this
Okay.
is where we're at.
But let me explain though.
And I don't want this in front of my kids all the time either.
We don't try to do stuff in front of kids.
My son was homesick from school today.
Me personally, well, if we got to deliver a message, we have to deliver a message. We can't.
So, you know, everyone paying attention to it can get all the what you want from this, and perhaps hopefully in the future, we'll sit down with Rick on video and get him to, and I don't know if I should call him Rick or Richard. I've never asked him that since we talked, but we'll maybe get him on video and get his more of his case brought to light, and some of these other people. And I got other videos from some other people too, and some of this stuff, and some of them I'm still going through, a lot of good stuff, right? And but some of it, come on, but none of it, I release nothing until the people it pertains to is okay with it, right? Okay, so they might share the information with me, but I'm not going to discuss your stuff until you say it's okay. Like Rick and I talked a little bit now, you know, and you know, so finally I'm like, okay, well, do you? And he's like, yeah, go ahead and share it, right? So that's what, you know. Otherwise, the last thing I want to touch base on is this, wherever I'm commentating on it, not, you know, just the way I have to with this situation. So I'm going by memory. So either I'm posting this in before or after what I'm talking about. But here's what I want to talk about. He brings up a valid point. They bring up all this shit. Oh, we have to do this and that for officer safety, right? Like in my case, supposedly, even though I went up as a man, and just as Rick did here in this case, he goes up and as a man and confronts them, right? The other way around, they show up outnumbering you, guns out and everything else, busting in your doors, however, you know, for their safety, right? Your safety never matters, right? So they come up with, so in my case, they have, you know, they're all in fucking riot gear, guns out and everything else, sneaking up on me and Whiskey when I was just about to take him out on his walk, right? And this is how they operate, right? So, but what I want to, but he puts out, oh, you guys are worried about safety, officer safety, and but yet the other day you send this little female officer out all by herself to serve me, right? I understand where you're coming from with that, but Abby, okay, how do I rate? Here's what I'm getting at. Defiance County Sheriff, how disrespectful. How do I rate? I'm making you guys famous. And this is how I rate. Abby? I've heard a lot about Abby, but I don't know who Abby is. Who is Abby? Okay, but that's what I want to know. How come you guys had a 3-day notice. I'm not trying to take away from Richard's case here, okay? So he brought up a valid point, right? Officer safety, but you sent her out, right? Here in my case, I show up as a man to them, as you could see in the video, right? Confront them. Hey, what does this mean? Blah, blah. Oh, we don't know. We'll look into it. Blah, they shoot the shit, right? Nothing but lies out of their mouth. Then they show up, riot gear, armored, the whole fucking force. You know, you could have done anything wrong that day in town. They show up unlawfully. They show up because they were supposed to be there to keep the peace when the bank showed up to take possession of the house. Instead, they show up an hour before somebody who is not the bank, right? They threw me out of my house, yanked me out of my house, guns out, armored, riot gear, all this shit, right? You would have thought some major fucking shit went down, right? And then hands me a 3-day notice then, right? How come you didn't send Abby to my house? And instead, first you send 3 different people, plain clothes. I don't know if they're officers or whatever. Well, the one I know isn't an officer, but he's one of them that also told me about this Abby, right? And to make threats to me. Oh, you better get out. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. That's not official. I talked to you guys. I showed up man to man like a man would. Why didn't you show back up or contact me back or even call me and say this is how it's going to go down? No, they didn't. They want to take me by surprise. Little bitches, right? They didn't send Abby to my door and say, oh, hey, Mr. Steele, here's a 3-day notice. This is how it's going to be. And then I could say, okay. Then I could, then I could have properly protected, properly done whatever I had to do, right? They didn't send Abby, they didn't send Chandra or whoever else the females are on the, but you send the males over to, so they can come on the alleged victim, so they can try to come on to her. In my case, right? You can't send the females to try to even that out. That's all I'm saying, right? How come you didn't send, I don't know who Abby is. I've heard a lot about Abby from several people now. And it's not just, I don't know who certain of these officers are. Why not, right? How come one nice Abby or whoever couldn't have knocked on my door and said, hey, we got a 3-day notice here. And this where it's at, this is the answer to your question where you showed up like a man to ask your question, right? I'm pretty offended. Defiance County Sheriff. Ingo, I'm making you famous. What the fuck? Get it in order here. Let's get it in order. I would expect a little bit better out of you. Anyways, we all thank you for watching, Whiskey and I, and I'm sure Richard does too. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below and help us get more attention on his case as well. You chasing that light? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep all of his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For God will bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. See ya.